I'll talk about the first person that I lost that hit the hardest. I was 21 and it was my grandmother, Emily, who was a poet without being a poet. I really needed her. And then I went to Ecuador and had a very serious car accident right after her death. And it was her that I remember waking up and just being so shocked that she'd had a stroke just before we left. We delayed the trip to be there with her. I saw her 2 days before she died. I used to always go and see her every week that I was in London because I was travelling abroad a lot that time. That day, she hugged me longer. It was weird. I mean, you look back at these things and perhaps every time it was a long hug, but I remembered something in that hug. And then 2 days later, I got a call that she'd had a stroke and that I mustn't go to the hospital till the next day. And I just remember dropping everything and going there, and they didn't stop me from going in. And I was with her. I wanted to be with her before everyone else got there. And I put my hand in her hand. And that's why I gave you your middle name, Emily.
What do you miss most about her?
I feel like your dad was an extension of the energy of her. What she gave me, he gave me, and I could blur them into one. And I feel that your dad and she both just had a beautiful spirit, poetic sensibilities, and yeah, you always miss people like that because they're extraordinary.
How does this loss impact your day-to-day?
I think that you come to realise that that person goes on inside you, and that if they gave you love, you have that love. So rather than searching to replace it, you actually allow yourself to fill up with everything that they gave you and hopefully pass that on to those you love so that you love in a healthy way.
If there's anything you could say to her today, what would you say?
Oh, just thank you for everything.